Welcome, Endgame community. We're here to do our typical draft, except it's not typical. Usually Wednesdays we've been doing mock drafts on Sleeper, redraft mocks, but the puppy just launched. And if you don't know what that is, well, let me tell you or remind you. Underdog is the place to go for your best ball drafts and Best Ball Mania, which we did last week. We've already done a couple live. Chris did one as soon as it dropped. We've done those and we're going to continue to do those. But the puppy is the less, I guess, intimidating, maybe the cuter version of it. It's a smaller version. It's a smaller tournament. It's only a $5 entry and it's all the same rules, guidelines. It's a tournament. If you don't know all about that, we'll break it down, but we're going to jump into one right now. If you are an underdog vet, then you already know what's about to go down. We're going to join a tournament. We're going to try to take it down, pick the best teams possible, tell you our thought process behind the picks and behind the strategy, the roster construction. Gotta love best ball. It's just a different, format because the strategy is very different from redraft.
Yeah, definitely, because you're only drafting. It's draft and you're done. So you're going to draft more players. You need to draft multiple players at each position. Running back, wide receiver, you're going to draft 5, 6, up to 9 players at each position. So very different. And again, it's a tournament style. It's $500K in prizes for a $5 entry fee. So your goal is to make it deep in the tournament. So you need upside, and more upside.
That's right. This is the place to take a shot at those lesser known rookies, those backups, the guys you're like, okay, I wouldn't really draft them. You want to take shots here. And of course, your build is very important. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but let's try them. So, going to get in right now. We're going to try to jump in the very same draft. So, on the count of 3, we're going to hit enter, do a live draft, 30 seconds per pick. So, 1, 2, 3, go.
Ooh, did you get in? Because it looks close to filled. 3 people left. Are you in? 2 people left.
2, 1. There you go. Just like that, it filled. That's how quick it is, guys. Now, puppy just dropped. Like I said, that's why we're doing it now. Normally do our typical mock draft, but we had to jump on this because it just opened up. Of course, we want to get a lot of exposure to this tournament, but also want to let y'all know it's here and you can get in there. Again, $5 for an entry for a chance to win potentially thousands of dollars. So we're going to talk a little bit about the tournament itself. Chris, you got the 4. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I don't know if I've had the 4 at all this year, so I'm happy with that. Should be good. You got the 12.
Hey, we've seen some good builds at the turn. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's funny you say that. As soon as Best Ball Mania 5 opened up, I joined a couple of slow drafts. I think I joined 3 right away, and then I joined what was it? It was like the Schnauzer, the mini Schnauzer, or something like that. That one already is gone. Like it already filled up. It was like $3 one. A little mini one. 4, I'm not kidding. 4 drafts I joined, and I got the number 4 pick in all of them. So,
all right, so you can tell me is 4 a good spot?
I like my build. I like actually I like some of them a lot. Look, here you go, already on the clock.
Well, I will happily take Tyreek Hill at 4.
We saw interesting Breece Hall taken 3rd overall. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, not my cup of tea necessarily. I don't like, again, especially, I mean, look, I don't know. People try to like differentiate and things, but I think especially in the first round, if you're going to do a lot of drafts, I typically just try to stay to ADP because I want to have decent exposure to everybody in the first round because we don't know who's going to get hurt, who's going to bust, who's going to explode. So, yeah, I'm generally not a fan of taking guys that early, but hey, I'll take Tyreek at 4. That sounds good.
Yeah. If it's not CMC, I'm almost always taking one of those top receivers in the first 5 picks.
All right, this is a very quick first round already. It's almost your pick.
Very quick. Saquon in the first round. I don't know if I've seen that yet.
No, definitely have not seen that.
Okay, so I know Gibbs is out there. People are seemingly going running back happy in this draft, but I'm not. I'm going to take some upside receivers. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson because I'm all over him. And I'm going to probably for the first time here, going to go Marvin Harrison Jr.
I'm sure Clayton approves.
Somewhere smiling if he's not watching. Yeah. Wilson Harrison, huge upside receivers. I'm happy with that. I think I can still look. I'm not committing to a 0 RB build. We'll see what's available. I'm at the end here, obviously. So we'll see if any true RB1s are left. If not, I mean, I'm happy to continue to go receiver. I have one. I know I had the 4 pick in that one, obviously, but I got one draft I'm doing right now where I haven't yet. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I did pick a running back in round 7. So I guess it's a 0 RB build. I love that team. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Nothing wrong with 0. I mean, nothing wrong with 0 RB in a lot of formats, but especially in this format. But man, when it gets to my pick, there might be too good of running back value here for me to pass up on. Although maybe not, depending on what
Coinman Gibbs at the 16.
That's great value. Gibbs at the 16.
Yeah, I'm surprised after I didn't get him. Someone took Devontae Adams over him. There's Ayuk. All right, see what Coinman does.
Coinman is about to.
Is that Coinman or Conman?
Coinman. Okay, so he went Kyron. I cannot go Achane here. Is it too early? All right, I don't like to reach. I think Debo has the kind of weekly upside that's fine in this format.
It's the thing, if Achane was right on ADP there at 21, so if you're not going Achane, you're basically committing to a receiver, and 2 of them are Texans receivers. I know you don't love either of them this early, and then I think Evans seems like the next logical pick, but this is 5. That would have been like 4 or 5 spots above his ADP, so I get it. And I don't love Debo in round 2 either.
What's that?
I don't love Debo in round 2 either, but in best ball, it's more palatable.
Yeah, give me those weekly spikes. I mean, Achane, Derrick Henry. I did consider Waddle, but it felt too early. A little too early for Waddle.
Yeah. Got some questions. Some of our guys are in right now. Royland, what's up, Royland? He's asking, is this a rare draft class to trade for a lot of dynasty picks? He's in a rebuild, trying to get picks for this year's class.
I do feel like, because I've done I don't know how many rookie drafts now, a handful. And I do feel like this is one of those few years where even like late into round 2 and even into round 3, I still like a lot of players on the board. Now, look, they're rookies. We may look back and be like, that was a terrible pick. I mean, that's how it goes with rookies. But usually, like last year, once you got like late round 2 and into round 3, you're like, I'll just take a dart throw on this guy. But this year, like, I mean, I got Keon Coleman, I think like late round 2. Not that I love Keon Coleman, but I mean, the guy's the wide receiver 1 in Buffalo. I've gotten AD Mitchell in round 3. Like, guys I like, in round 2, in round 3, Jalen Wright. So, yeah, this is the year, I feel like, if you mean 2024, like this year's drafts. Yeah, this is the year to try to go out and get more picks.
Yeah, I think so. I always do try to look at need to some extent. Now with rookies, you're really supposed to go more for value, but at the same time, why are you going to try to, draft Brock Bowers if you don't need a tight end? You know what I mean? So it kind of depends on what's available versus what you need. It's obviously a better year than most for quarterbacks, at least deeper. Better, we'll see. I mean, who knows? Just because they were drafted in the first round doesn't mean they'll be worth much later on. Okay, hold on. I'm on the clock now.
Ooh, I like a nice strategy for you here, but let's see.
You like a what?
No, go ahead.
I'm really tempted to stack. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go Zay Flowers.
That's actually what I said I would do here. I would just do it. I would just
and then just go Lamar, right?
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, I would take Hurts first, but why not pair him up with Zay, right?
Yeah, why not get that stack?
And I'm not crazy about taking quarterback too early in best ball, but I think that's where the value was here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it hurts the pick in a vacuum, but I think there when you can go Zay Lamar and get the stack, you do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't pull the trigger on Cooper Kupp here. Okay, so let's move off of this one. Young Money got a question also related to Dynasty. What's up, Money? You're trading away AR. You want to get a wide receiver back in Superflex Dynasty. I mean, does this have to be a wide receiver one?
Hold on, I just got sniped on McBride.
Yeah, it's Superflex Dynasty AR. I think I have as a top 5 quarterback in Superflex. That's you're gonna have to get one of the best. I mean, I don't think you will get a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb type, but maybe right below that.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a stud. I mean, it's gonna because again, Anthony Richardson for me in Superflex Dynasty. I mean, what are we? Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson. I mean, that's like your top 6 probably, right? I mean, maybe you could argue Joe Burrow, but I doubt people have him ranked that high right now.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, an elite receiver. Someone. Again,
I normally don't go QB this early, but I am going to get my stack.
Oh, speak of the devil, there he is, AR. And actually, I was going to point this out. I was going to ask you. I was a little surprised here. Sorry, go back. You didn't go Mike Evans, even though he was the higher ranked player at that time, and you went Pittman instead. Is this because you already feel like you have too much Evans, or you feel like he's going too soon?
No, I think where Evans is going is fine, and if Pittman was gone, I probably would have gone Evans. I think I just slightly prefer Pittman, but it's one of those things where, yeah, next time I might go Evans. So it's not like I strongly say Pittman over Evans.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, they're pretty much neck and neck for me, and I do slightly prefer Pittman. Just wondering.
I don't really worry about my exposure to guys in other tournaments as much as, since this is our first puppy, I'm not really too worried about exposure right now because I have 0 exposure to anybody in the puppy.
Well, I guess that's true. Different beast than the Best Ball Mania.
Yeah, and just, so as I do more Best Ball Mania drafts and I start to, okay, I'm overexposed to this guy or underexposed to this guy, then I'll start to make decisions based, sometimes based on exposure versus who I like or don't like. So.
Okay, so my only question here, gonna take Hollywood, is how 0 RB do I want to get? Keenan Allen is sitting there. But I think I'm going to go running back. Yeah, I'm big enough on Kenneth Walker here, and I have enough questions about Keenan Allen. Man, I really wanted to go Allen, but that would give me a 5th receiver. I think I'll go with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I'm having a hard again. The Bears, another team where just give me the guy going last. Rookie quarterback. And look, I think Caleb Williams will be great. It's not like, it's not like they drafted, Bo Nix. Apologies to people who believe in Bo Nix, or Spencer Rattler. Apologies to people who believe in Spencer Rattler. Like, Caleb Williams will be great. But you got DJ Moore. You got Keenan Allen. You got Rome Odunze, who's honestly good enough to step in and be a number one wide receiver in the NFL already. Like, there's only so much. There's only one football, and there's only so many pass attempts a game. And, yeah, I don't know.
And, you can't overlook the fact that, like you said, with a rookie quarterback who isn't really a running quarterback, he can run, but he's not really a runner. And they also have 2 pass-catching tight ends, right? They have Kmet, who's a pretty good receiving tight end, and they added Gerald Everett, who, again, they didn't bring in as a blocker because that's not his thing. And DeAndre Swift, pretty good pass-catching running back. They're purposely giving him a lot of options out here so that he can diversify the targets. They don't want him funneling them to just one receiver or 2 receivers, right? Which is smart, but that's not necessarily great in fantasy for any one of those guys. And I think DJ Moore will still be the one. But like you said, why take Keenan Allen at 50 when you can get Rome Odunze at 66 or whatever the case is? I mean, that's their ADP here.
Yeah, exactly. And I probably in a vacuum would have gone Rome Odunze there, but I went Jaden Reed just because he wasn't way below his typical ADP, but he's decently below it. So figured I would go with him. Ooh.
Yeah. I like that value on Reed. That's very good value.
May regret this, but we'll see.
No, I took in my 0 RB build I was just talking about. I think I showed you yesterday. I took Mondre as my number 1 running back. I think that's still pretty good for a guy who's mostly going to be a workhorse again.
Yeah. I just wonder. It's pretty crazy to see Zamir White in the top 80. I mean, I don't think it's wrong, but it's pretty crazy to see it.
There he goes.
Yeah, and that's who I was like, do I go White or Ramondre? But I'll take I guess I'll give Ramondre the slight edge because of the pass catching.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's smart. Yeah, those guys is pretty close. Oh man, all my running backs are about to get taken. This brings up a good question. Roos, how much would you consider best ball ADP compared to a redraft league?
I mean, I think you definitely have to consider it. I mean, it's still, remember, these are real money drafts. People are putting their real hard-earned money on the line here. And I know there are some differences as far as, you're just drafting and you care more about, you don't worry so much about like, oh, this guy might have like 7 or 8 phenomenal games and the rest of the time he might be bad to okay. You don't worry about that as much in best ball, but still, like, I think for the most part, the ADP is.
Yeah, feels that way. Okay, good. Sorry, hold on. About to pick. I was hoping there would be any running backs I'm good value or okay with here. I'm still perfectly okay with Monty, especially 12 picks after his ADP. Yeah. All right. This is definitely a best ball only pick. All right. Christian Watson it is. All right. I think we lost Chris. I could be wrong, but maybe someone else can tell me if he's completely blacked out. Yeah, we did lose Chris. There he is.
Back. I don't know what happened. My internet decided to go away. But I got on my hotspot. I'm back.
I thought you saw the Christian Watson pick and you like rage quit.
Yeah. No.
All right. Don't worry, you didn't even miss your pick. You're still almost up. Now all the RB2s are officially, I think, off the board. Maybe even RB3s. Jalen Warren. I mean, where do we consider him?
Jalen Warren, man, I'm just gonna have such low exposure to that whole Steelers backfield. The whole Steelers offense. Like Pickens, okay, I'll take some shots. I could go like Zach Moss here. I could go Brock Bowers for my first tight end, but I think I'm just gonna go Jordan Love for the Jaden Reed stack and just be done at QB. Anthony Richardson, Jordan Love.
Yeah,
done at QB.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to pick from the bottom of the barrel at QB for your number 2 guy. That's never a good feeling. Najee is still on the board. I'm actually surprised not only is Jalen Warren taken before Najee, but Najee now is going on 10 picks past his ADP. I mean, I'm not in on him. I passed on him, but yeah, it's surprising now seeing all these other guys go ahead of him.
I mean, if he makes it back to me, I'll probably have to take him. Oh, there he goes.
There he goes. All right, so that's a good feeling. You got your 2 quarterbacks. You don't even have to look at that position anymore. Tight end, man. Yeah, I looked at that. It's like I'm not pulling the trigger on Bowers like he just did. You like anybody else here?
I might have gone Bowers there if he fell to me. Njoku. I might just go running back here. And not Trey Benson.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta put this up. What is up? Brian is back.
What's up, Brian?
How you been? Saying that he's the one who would rage quit with the Christian Watson pick. Hey,
yeah,
it's all about upside. Like, you know, if all he gives me is 2 good weeks, then that's actually good in this format.
Yeah, I mean, you want more than 2.
Well, like really, really good weeks, like huge weeks. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. I think and all the running backs flying off the board.
Nick Chubb's still there for you.
Nick Chubb is technically still there. And look, there's nobody else with an ADP before 120. But I know if I don't get one of those players, they're, probably not going to be there. I'm going to wait. I don't care. I'm going to wait. Okay. How about... Actually, you know what I should do? I just figured out what I'm going to do. I'm not going to wait on my backup quarterback. That way I'll be done too.
There you go.
And I'm trying to change my mindset too into, I used to always say, like, don't draft quarterback early in best ball at all. But things have changed because they're not, 32 or even 25. I don't even know how many you could say are like reliable quarterbacks that will be starting from beginning to end of season and be productive, that are worth starting in fantasy. So if you wait too long on your backup, I mean, you can't replace them in best ball. So
yeah,
it's just that not just that security, but also the sure production from actually getting points from your quarterback every week. I think it's important.
Look at this QB run we got going right now.
Oh, I didn't think I would start a run, but here we go.
Am I going to actually have to draft Nick Chubb?
I'm here for it. Everybody, I think, is rooting for that right now.
I mean, he's going 15 picks below ADP here.
I think you have to do it. I don't really think it's a choice.
All right, let's do it. This might be my only Nick Chubb exposure.
There we go. We saw it. Y'all saw it. Nick Chubb on Chris's team. Put that. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Look, we're all rooting for Nick Chubb. Nobody wants him to. It just got to be realistic.
Right.
You said you just got clipped. All right. We'll see.
I mean, look, he's 15 spots below ADP. I'll take the discount here. It's best ball. Hopefully he's at least back for the second half and isn't horrible.
All right, good. This is worth it just for this.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian. Continued support just because of that.
Just because of that. All right. Well, then it was worth it.
Definitely worth it. Wow. All right. Here's a take. What do you think? Keon Coleman, top 12 upside.
I mean, I think, honestly, I think Keon Coleman, his upside might be what we saw with Rashee Rice last year.
I mean, that would be...
Which isn't bad. Not bad. He may be very frustrating early in the year because I don't think... Oh, I'm on the clock. Oh, I got 8 seconds. I got 8 seconds. I want a wide receiver. Did I do it? Did I get Shaheed?
You got Shaheed.
All right. Yeah, I think it'll be very similar to Rashee Rice. Not saying that like they're the exact same prospects or anything, but like Rashee Rice was also a guy I felt like had a lot of work to do on his game, and I think it took the Chiefs understanding how to properly use him right as the season went on for him to finally get going. I think that's going to be the case for Keon Coleman.
Makes sense. Yeah, if you could put it together a Rashee Rice type season, then that's a huge win for him, for the Bills, right? Especially. Oh man, it's really somebody had to take Corum. Man. This draft is flying by. I'll say this: everybody's on, right? Everybody's on their game here. Okay.
Oh, when he falls 15 spots below ADP in a best ball draft, I will draft him.
If and only if.
I will not draft him in any redraft league, so I will tell you that. That's just.
Does the same apply to Zeke?
Yeah, I'll draft Zeke. Look, Zeke was horrible last year, but he helped you win a fantasy championship. He's gonna be horrible again this year, but he's the guy in Dallas. Now, look, he's not gonna get the difference with Zeke this year is he's not gonna have Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi dumping it off to him 7, 8 times a game like he got last year. Because Dak Prescott isn't. Yeah, Dak Prescott will check it down sometimes, but he's not gonna like just sit there and like where's Zeke for these easy dump offs. So you're not going to get that, but he's going to get volume and he's going to have a chance to score some touchdowns. So, yeah, can't.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing, and especially, to some extent, this is half PPR. He gives me a couple of games with a touchdown or 2 touchdowns right there. He's usable. You know what I mean? He's got some value.
Exactly. All right, I do need to start thinking about that.
Speaking of Buffalo Bill wide receivers, who's drafting Chase Claypool?
Hopefully nobody. Hopefully nobody.
Oh, that's funny. I think you are getting clipped and mashed up here. Young Money. 10 players I'm not drafting. This is underdog. This is best ball. It's different.
Yeah, this is different.
All right, let's keep the Buffalo Bill wide receiver thing going for no reason. Chase Wellner, do you have Curtis Samuel over Khalil Shakir?
I do. I think Curtis Samuel can just give you things like give you. Hold on, I don't want to time out again here. I think Curtis Samuel can do things that Shakir can't do, like run the football, like end arounds, jet sweeps, and he's got that yard after catch ability. So yes, I'm taking Samuel over Shakir.
Yeah, it remains to be seen how he's actually going to be used in that offense, but yeah, I think I got to put him slightly ahead.
I hope I can get my tight end on the way back. We'll see. Maybe playing with fire on tight end here.
All right. Yeah, we're at the turn. Man, round 13 already.
Yeah, you guys, they're not messing around. They'll be ready. I'm surprised my Wi-Fi dropped and I still didn't miss a pick.
Yeah, right. I agree with you, Money. Tua, the biggest buy low for Dynasty.
Maybe.
Aaron is in the draft. He's team 7. So let's see. What do you got going on here? Team 7. Oh, I see. Aaron just upon us, I think. Okay. You got Hurts and Goff. Not bad. Taylor, Kamara, Singletary, Jalen Wright. Interesting. Sun God to go with Goff. We'll stack there. Devontae Smith, Worthy, Curtis Samuel. We'll just talk about him. Jake Ferguson, Jacoby Myers. Okay. Looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
All right, you took Luke Musgrave.
Oh. Yeah, go with the Love, Reed, Musgrave trifecta there.
There you go.
Definitely going to go 3 tight ends in this build. With Luke as my tight end 1. Definitely going to go 3.
That was your first tight end?
Yeah, Luke Musgrave is my tight end 1. So
yeah, you're going to go 3. I probably will go 3 too. My tight end 1 was pick 108, Dallas Goedert, which feels like fine, like decent value, but I'm not going to depend on him on a weekly basis. Oh, are you kidding? How has Vidal got drafted like 10 spots ahead of ADP?
Well, Vidal is going to be a guy who's going to rise, I think. I think especially if training camp, he's looking pretty good and they're talking him up, he's gonna shoot up.
Man, and it's not like I love him so much. It's just I really don't like any of these other running backs. That's honestly what it comes down to. All right, I'll take someone who probably will get some points because Aaron Jones will probably miss a couple of games. Then a tight end who is nice and boring.
Good pick.
I mean, you figure either rookie quarterback or Jacoby Brissett. Either way, tight end's getting targeted.
Yeah, I feel fairly confident. And Henry is going to be a threat in the red zone at least. So.
All right. Clayton is in the house. Just missed getting into this draft, but here for the hot take. Jonathan Brooks, top 8 running back?
I mean, look, stranger things have happened. I think yeah, that seems high. Just because I think we're gonna again, remember coming back from ACL, I think Chuba will be the guy to start the season. I do think eventually Brooks will take over this year, but man, he's gonna have to have some huge games to end up top 8.
Yeah, that's the thing, is if he wasn't coming off injury, and because even if it's not a matter of if he's ready for the season that he plays, but what level of effectiveness if he plays. I just think he's more of a second half kind of play. I just don't think he'll have the fantasy total points to wind up top 8. Now, if you're going to say from week 8 on or whatever, yeah, I could buy that. What do you think about Troy Franklin as a steal in the mid to late rounds?
Yeah, I agree. I like that he landed there with his college quarterback. He's going to fill that Judy role. He can't be worse than Judy. That's almost a guarantee. So I agree with that. I like him. I like him in those mid to later round picks for sure.
Yeah, I think he fell into a great situation. I mean, there's been buzz, and of course, nothing's happened. Cortland Sutton potentially being on the move. They're saying he'd fit great in Pittsburgh. He'd fit great here, but I don't think they're going to just move on from him for the sake of moving on. I mean, don't they want their rookie quarterback, to have somebody reliable to throw to?
Yeah, and didn't we hear this all last year too?
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, one of them's getting traded, and neither of them got traded. I mean, okay, sure, there's a chance, but I mean, yeah. there's probably a better chance that they don't get traded. All right, let's go with our tight end 2 here.
Very nice. As much as he didn't break out the way I wanted him to last year, I mean, Juwan Johnson still seems like a good pick because, man, Saints don't really have much at receiver after Olave and Shaheed.
No, and he had some nice games last year, so I think he could at least, again, I'm Frankensteining. I call it, Frankensteining when you have 3 guys and you're just hoping on any given week, at least one of them does halfway decent. And then by the end of the season, your 3 guys combine to be a decent tight end. That's what I'm doing over here. So, yeah, just looking for guys that have potential to give me some usable weeks.
You got to do what you got to do. Resident Chiefs fan, Royland. Okay, Rashee Rice. Maybe it won't get suspended long-term half the season for the car thing, but now maybe get suspended for another reason. Apparently some sort of assault. Now, how worried are you about Rashee Rice, and what about in Dynasty? Because we're looking not just to this season, but are you buying the dip or are you staying away?
I think in Dynasty, I would be buying the dip. I'm certainly getting a little more worried now because it's okay, is he going to end up being one of those? It's weird because I don't remember him having any issues in college, and he didn't have any issues last year. But is he going to be one? Is he going to be one of these guys that just makes bad decision after bad decision, and we look back and say, "Geez, what a waste." Now, I will say with this whole assault thing, there's the reports are coming from not the biggest sources, so I'm not sure how credible they are just yet. But certainly, I'm getting a little worried here. Okay, maybe this guy is just he's losing his way a little bit, and I don't really trust the Chiefs organization to straighten him out, unfortunately, because they don't seem to really care about knuckleheads. So, did you just go 3 straight tight ends?
I did. I'm putting together the ultimate Frankenstein. I'm stacking my quarterbacks with both tight ends. Got Jonnu
There
Smith
you
and
go.
Avila.
All right, there you go. But in Dynasty, I'm still willing to gamble on him. Redraft certainly getting a little more nervous because, like, look, in Dynasty, let's say he's suspended. Let's say they suspend him for half the year because they're like, hey, you need to figure out what's going on. Okay, that hurts in redraft. In Dynasty, it hurts, but I mean, like, okay, it hurts this year, but not like the rest of his career. So in Dynasty, I'll buy the dip. Redraft, I'm getting nervous.
Fair enough. Yeah. Get nervous. And like in best balls, let's take this for example. You figure, okay, he misses a few games, you still get, good value of it. And right now he went at the 7-1, seventh round. I think that's about right because obviously you got to lower him, not knowing anything. You've got to put him down somewhere below Hollywood for sure, but also lower than being your wide receiver too. But he could still be valuable in this format because even if he only plays a few games, that's all you really need if he's not one of your first receivers selected. Dynasty, I think the worry is much less unless, like you said, this is a sign of a guy who's just going to continue to make bad decisions and just fall off, right? We've seen that happen before. I remember a guy who was super mega talented, Justin Blackman for Jacksonville.
Yep.
Who knows what could have been with him, but just couldn't figure things out off the field. So sometimes that happens.
All right. Gamble on some upside here of my last wide receiver.
All right. So I just saw Aiden O'Connell get drafted. Am I right?
Hey, if you're desperate at QB.
Well, that's why I'm taking my QBs earlier than I used to. Oh, you went to Devontae Walker. Interesting. I thought you weren't really.
Gamble on some upside. My last wide receiver here. If nothing, I mean, he's got upside. He could be a total complete bust.
Yeah,
but he's got upside. He's got upside.
True enough. All right. Well, I mean, we'll see how these next 3 picks go. I might take a player that I probably won't ever take again. I will see. I'm not a slave to ADP, you know this, but man, with my build right now, I just need some running backs with upside, some depth here.
Young Money's saying Walker over Pop is crazy. I liked Pop early in the offseason, but they just drafted Jalen McMillan. Okay, fine. He's not. That's not a threat to Pop. But they also drafted Javon Baker, who I think is a threat to Pop. I think. Remember, they still have Juju, don't they? Not that I like Juju, but I mean,
I think they do.
Pop is pretty much a slot only guy. So with Juju and Javon Baker there, I don't know. I don't know. I like Pop, but man, I really worry for Pop now.
Yeah, you got to. Okay.
I like Javon Baker too. I think he's a good prospect. I think he's going to surprise people.
Okay. Why not? All right. I like J.K. Dobbins, but I'm not drafting J.K. Dobbins. But you know what? I just drafted J.K. Dobbins because he's like 50 picks after ADP, and why not? If he has one good week. A very, very interesting running back room that I'll probably never even come close to replicating again. But hey, this draft went different for me.
All right, tight end with the last pick. ugly in these tight end streets right now. Can Mike Gesicki finally do something in Cincy? How many two tight end sets are the Raiders going to use? Let's go with Michael
Mayer. Well, here's the thing with the Cincy's, they just drafted 2 tight ends. So
yeah.
Yeah, I would rather have Mayer because I think he could still have a role. Actually, you know, if I didn't go with so many tight ends already, who I kind of like that's still out there, Jelani Woods. If he's actually healthy, it's a nice late pick. And then I remember we were taking Davis Allen a little bit earlier in this offseason. You still on him a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's round 18 tight end. Like, I don't feel good about it.
Oh, hey, is this? It's Ray. Ray, you remember Ray Harcourt? He's Coin Man.
Oh, all right. What's up, Ray?
Hey, awesome. All right, getting on there. Well, Royland, you're just always. We know you are a Chiefs fan, so we don't have too many, right? Do we have any other like Chiefs? I don't know if we have any other Chiefs guys. Okay, let's break this down. How do you feel about your draft? You went 2 QBs fairly early-ish. You like having AR and Love, and you don't really love Jordan Love in redraft this year, but I think you're okay with him here.
Oh yeah, definitely okay with him here. Especially because I did get the discount on Jaden Reed, a little bit of a discount, about 10 pick discount for Jaden Reed. So I love getting that stack. I love the AR stack with Pittman. I mean, I'm really happy. Hill, Debo, Pittman, Jaden Reed, Shaheed, Mooney, Walker give me some upside there. Obviously, running back I waited on, but I got James Cook. Feels good, and Ramondre, so that feels pretty good. And then, the Chubb pick, the league-winning Nick Chubb pick, of course. And then my Frankenstein tight ends, we'll see. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's tight end. You get guys who score touchdowns, and they're not all in the same week. You can get by with it, right? All right, so I also went quarterback early-ish. Got Lamar mainly to stack with Zay Flowers. I'm curious your thoughts on number one, having just 6 receivers. Do you think those 6 receivers are going to be enough quality-wise?
Yeah, I usually don't like to have less than 7 receivers. You did go 0 RB, so I think in that case it makes more sense because when your RB1 is Kenneth Walker and your RB2 is David Montgomery and your RB3 is Zeke, you probably need more running backs. So I think for 0 RB it's fine. In fact, I think I saw something where somebody, it might have been Hayden Winks, did some research on 0 RB in best ball and said that if you're going to do 0 RB on best ball, you got to draft way more running backs and way less wide receivers. So maybe it is a good strategy.
Well, probably what I could have done is taken another receiver instead of a 4th tight end. But the way I see it this way is, look, I could have gone Jonnu Smith or Odell Beckham.
Well, I think there are other guys better than Odell Beckham, but I think if it was me, I would not take the 4th tight end. I think with Goddard, Henry, and Smith, you're fine.
Yeah, probably. And then that running back room for 0 RB. I mean, look, if nothing else, Zeke will get touches, right? He'll touch the ball.
I mean, look, it's best ball. I mean, right? If you just never know. You never know who's going to come out of nowhere. You never know who's going to come out of nowhere late in the season and carry your team. It's best ball. It's best ball.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those RB rooms where it's like Audric Estimate could wind up being the starter in Denver and wind up being someone who puts up points for me on a regular basis. Zeke could wind up being the starter all year in Dallas and put up points just through sheer volume. Or I could just have 2 running backs that are good and a bunch of guys who never could score for me. So that's how it is. That's zero RB life. But look, this was fun. I like trying out things that are different. We do these every week and not going to have the same team twice, not even close to that. And now you got to tune in next week or next time we do an underdog draft just to see if somehow we can talk Tristan getting a second share of Nick Chubb. Maybe that'll happen.
Hey, if Nick Chubb falls that far below 80, like almost anybody falls that far below 80 p.m.
There you go. Didn't say no. So now we got to see how many shares of Nick Chubb we can have. All right, guys. Well, that's the puppy. If for some reason you aren't already a loyal viewer, subscriber, and you aren't already on Underdog, well, you can do this too. You can join in with us next time we do a live stream, but also you can just do it on your own. So many contests. Best Ball Mania is open. That's the big one. That's the one you want to take down. The puppy is here. Easy entry, $5. You can get it done in that was a total of maybe 45 minutes. We already knocked out a draft. Or you can do a slow draft. Honestly, that's my favorite. Personal, just take your time, think about each pick. I like to enter several at a time, so I always am almost on the clock. And it's easy. So go to Underdog Fantasy, download the app. Just make sure if you do sign up for the very first time, use that code ENDGAME because now they extended that deposit match up to $250. So check it out. You also get a free special pick'em and all sorts of offers they're extending. And we're not even close yet to football season. It's just going to get better. So go ahead and check it out now if you haven't already. And then join us next time for our live draft. We'll also be doing some regular mock drafts. So if you haven't hit notification bell, do that now. All right. Meanwhile, we'll catch you on the next one.